Taylor Swift is a link builder. There were rumors that she would get engaged. Our client said, let's give them a free wedding venue. And then we got them 50 links. That's digital PR.
Managing multiple clients or large websites? Automate your SEO with Ali AI. Start your free trial now.
Wix Studio, one end-to-end web creation platform for your agency to deliver exceptional work with absolute efficiency.
Hello everyone, my name is Frank and today I'll walk you through the must-known automations in 2024. I know it's already getting a little bit late, we're all head to the bar, so I'm trying to do it as quickly as possible. Won't really introduce myself. If you guys want to know more about me, you can check my social media. So 4 years ago, some friends and I, we started a company, and for that company we had to create a website and fill it with all the 2,500 towns in the Netherlands. And as you can imagine, that takes quite a lot of time. But like every other friend group, we all have this nerd, and he said, hey, let me fix this. So he came back, put his laptop on the table, and then showed us something that logged into the website and started adding all those places automatically, which was really cool to see, and as well saved us quite a lot of time. It was the first time I saw an automation in real life. He later told me it was with Python. I didn't know what it was, but it was really cool. And then 2 years ago, this happened. OpenAI launches ChatGPT. And now, all of a sudden, everybody can access a very good large language model. And I remember it happening. I drove back home from work. I thought, like, I'm going to create so much AI content today and add it to my affiliate website. I'm going to be rich in no time, quit my job. Well, did not really go as planned, but was nice to try for sure. But let's be fair, ChatGPT is really good. It helped me a lot building automations, but as well, kind of every day. Kind of feels Superman, a little bit robotic version of it. So today I'll talk about how we can automate certain parts of the keyword research, how we can automate spotting on-page opportunities. I'll talk a little bit about the Screaming Frog and ChatGPT connection, because that one is really cool. So just like everybody else learning Python, you start with the Udemy 100-day course, right? I remember at day 60 I got stuck because my laptop didn't allow me to install the packages that I needed. But really gave me the opportunity to look around at the processes we're doing internally and check if there is like anything I could potentially automate with Python, and there was. And one question that was always in the back of my mind was, why is a large language model so bad at clustering keywords? And I think the reason that is because it makes assumptions. It thinks that two keywords belong together. Just like ordering a bike or buying a bike online probably means the same, but I'm not right. And what if we're doing it in a niche or in another language? I mean, yeah, pretty difficult. And then there's something like SERP similarity, and that's quite interesting because if search engines like Google show the same results for different keywords, that could give us the intention that those keywords potentially could be clustered. And why don't we trust Google for once? I mean, we're always complaining about it, that we're not ranking on the first spot, but in this case, we can really let Google's algorithm work in our advantage. And the cool thing is, if we're going to automate it with Python, it doesn't matter if we got 2 keywords or 1,000, Python will do the work for us anyway. So, just like always, we start with creating a long list, find all the keywords that potentially could be interested. And normally we would put it in an Excel or in a spreadsheet and then create a content plan. But I'm going to show you guys how we can do it with Python. For anyone out there that doesn't know, this is the logo of Python, the blue and the yellow. So if you see it in slides, that's something that we can automate. So we start by getting the SERP information of all the keywords in the long list and create a huge data set. And what Python will do for us next is start looping through it. And when it sees amount of similarity, it puts them together, it clusters them. And if not, it just tries with the next one, works very fast. The only kind of question is, when do we cluster them? When is there enough similarity? And there's not really a one answer to this, but the best I can give you is 3 or 4 links in the top 10 as a minimum. It's kind of the sweet spot. But if the script doesn't give the right output, you got to try again. Maybe try 2, even 5. But most of the time, it's 3 or 4 that will do the job for you. So as an input, we put in a list of keywords, and what we get back is those keywords clustered in their topic. So now we know exactly which keywords we can optimize on a certain page. And it saves a lot of time. I even tried it afterwards with 1,000 keywords. Felt pretty strange to do, but it took me around 3 hours, and with the script, just 15 minutes. And the output was way better than doing it by hand. As well, I built a Google Colab for you guys so you can try it. At the end, we'll give them away. The only thing you're gonna need is SERP API. This just makes scraping a lot easier, but they got a free trial as well. And just like all the other automations I'll show today, you can try them in my Google Colabs. And as well, ask yourself, there's something missing, and then just ask ChatGPT to build that Python code. ChatGPT can create Python code quite easily, so you can just change the script a little bit so it fits your project even better. So, something else. In general, the SERP is quite interesting when we're doing keyword research. Things like Google Auto-Suggest, People Also Ask, and Auto Search For can really give us new insights of how our target audience is searching. And the cool thing about it, it's scrapable. So in my second automation, I'll talk a bit about how we can use the People Also Ask to create, how we can create blog titles from that. So again, we put in a whole list of keywords, and then we ask Python to get the SERP information and scrape the People Also Ask. We create a huge list of questions that we can answer inside of our blogs. But it's going to be duplicates, and there's as well going to be similarities. So we use the earlier script and cluster those questions. And then we have the clustered questions inside of a different data set, and we can simply ask ChatGPT to create an all-covering blog title for those questions. And because ChatGPT has an API, we can easily integrate it inside of our Python script. And another benefit of the ChatGPT API is that we can give it some sort of parameters so we can change the behavior of the model. So in this case, we don't want ChatGPT to be as creative. We don't want it to build like an over-promising blog title. No, we just want it to create a good, decent one, not too creative. So we change the temperature, the top P, and presence penalty. And now ChatGPT's behavior will be less creative, which is perfect for this script. So as an input, we put in a list of keywords like before, and now what we get back is the blog title with the questions that we want to answer inside of that blog. And it works really good. We tried it for one of our clients, kind of blindly, but we started generating quality traffic right from the start. Even some conversions. We became a topical authority pretty fast. Made the client happy and me, because it was a bit risky to do it like this. So now I'll talk a little bit more about how we can use the SERP to optimize the content already on our pages. Because let's be fair, every website already going to have a lot of informational content. But it's pretty interesting to check if that content is answering the People Also Ask. So again, we can use Python to do that. We provide a URL and a keyword, or we just scrape the H1. It's going to be optimized for it anyway. And then we just scrape those questions. And now we can ask ChatGPT, hey, is this URL, the content on this URL answering those questions? And if not, can you give me some sort of advice? And then we go from an input of a list of URLs, and what we get back is those URLs with the recommendation from ChatGPT about what kind of content we can add to those pages. So for my last automation, I'll talk a little bit more about large websites, because let's be honest, large websites are the most fun. But a problem with it is you can kind of lose control. After a while, you don't know which page links to another one. You don't know which gets the most link juice. And as well, are there still opportunities? Stuff that you want to know. And we all fall back on a trick where we search for site, then a colon or domain name, and a keyword. And then Google will show us relevant results. But that's something we can automate with Python as well. So what we do is we provide a URL and keywords to Python, and then we ask ChatGPT to create other relevant keywords for us. Again, we use a less creative version of ChatGPT, and then we let Python search for it, create a huge list of potentially URLs where you can put a link from to our page. And I know what you guys thinking, a lot of those already gonna have an internal link, right? That's something Python can check for us as well. So Python can just check the HTML and skips the header, skips the footer, and just look at the body. And if there's already an internal link in it, it just deletes it from the list. It'll make the list smaller, but way more relevant. So as an input, we put in a list of target URLs, we'll call it. And what we get back is a target URL with some source URLs where we haven't provided a link yet, and we can still do it. So in a matter of minutes, we now know where the internal link opportunities lay. So then there's this this picture, which is pretty weird. This is what you get when you ask Midjourney to create a picture of a screaming frog cuddling with an AI robot, something like ChatGPT. Pretty weird, not so comfortable frog and a little bit too comfortable robot. But as SEO specialists, we love screaming frog, especially since the beginning of May, now that it's possible to connect ChatGPT with screaming frog. Because now you don't have to write any code if you want to use ChatGPT on multiple URLs on your page. And it works quite easy as well. You have to put on JavaScript rendering. That one is very important. I've been screaming at my laptop before because it didn't provide any output. It's always the JavaScript rendering. Don't forget that. And then we can just use the standard template of Screaming Frog. We provide a ChatGPT API like we used before, then the prompt, what do we want ChatGPT to do on our page, and then a certain part of the page. Most of the time this is going to be the body because it provides the most information. And now we can create in bulk. We can create title text, meta descriptions. We can create specific content like a FAQ based on a blog or a product page or structured data. And because we decide what ChatGPT will do, we can say, hey, create structured data, but make sure it's in a web page scheme, part of a website scheme, part of an organization scheme. And we can analyze in bulk. Analyze if a certain page is meeting the EAT guidelines. And yeah, we can ask for some sort of advice if it isn't. We can analyze if there's still content opportunities. And as well, basically we can do any kind of on-page analyze right now with Screaming Frog and ChatGPT. And the cool thing about it is it adds the output of ChatGPT right into our crawl. So now we can export it into a CSV and maybe upload it immediately in our WordPress website. We can create title text for a medium-sized website in under 50 minutes, which is pretty amazing. So automating stuff, it can really feel a little bit like this picture in the back. You're looking at this pretty cool city with all this tech stuff. I mean, that's obviously social media, blog posts, presentations about all this cool stuff like AI. And we're still in the green, right? I mean, we're looking around, nothing really happening, and we want to go towards that city. But it's pretty scary. And I know this picture is probably way too much, but if you put some Hans Zimmer music in your ears, you can really feel like you're in this picture. But it all comes down to this quote for me. And to dream big, you got to start small. Try to build like a small thing at first, and then try new things. When I look at my first Python script, it was very bad. There were lessons I had to learn, to show you guys stuff like this today. And to kick off your journey, I got 3 tips for you. That's use ChatGPT as a standard. When you try to do something, first ask ChatGPT to do it for you. And if it works, ask it, how can we automate this? As a second, try to do it with the Screaming Frog connection. Do it on multiple URLs, because this really creates the mindset that you're automating stuff, which can really help. And as a third, never copy something of a web page by hand. Always use an extension like Web Scraper. I use it almost every day and saves me quite a lot of time. And then it should be like this GIF. It's not working, but they're dancing. And that's what's going to happen in your office as well. You're going to be dancing like these people because automating is really cool. And when your colleagues are using them, it's really nice. As well, it makes your work way more fun. But even if you don't want to share it internally, you just want to keep it for yourself, get in the corner, and on the left, you maybe put the automation on, and maybe on the right, you put maybe Netflix on. I got you covered. These are my 3 favorite movies. I'm a huge Christopher Nolan fan. This is Inception, Interstellar, and The Dark Knight, and I can definitely recommend watching these movies instead of working. So, key takeaways from today. I hope I helped you guys kind of create a mindset that you can automate stuff, and it's really cool to do. As well, a reason to do more with Python, because Python is very reliable. ChatGPT uses it a lot for its analysis. You just know what you're going to get when you're building something good in Python. and as well a handful of practical automations that you can use for yourself. On the next slide is going to be a QR code to a landing page with the slides and as well all the automations I showed you guys today. So thank you guys for attending my presentation. Scan the QR code if you want, grab the slides and automations, and if you enjoyed it, please give me a follow on social media. Thanks.
Monthly reporting making you want to shove sharp things up your nose? Try Dragon Metrics, the all-in-one SEO software with mind-blowing reporting tools.